Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Kimberley Juvenile crime puts all eyes on WA government as communities wait for long-term solutions 2 months after the West Australian government promised a swift and multi-layered response to escalating juvenile crime in the Kimberley. Significant questions remain over what is being put on the table. Announced in February after a string of highly publicised attacks on police officers by juvenile offenders, Operation Regional Shield saw 24 additional police officers deployed to the Kimberley in a bid to target the key offenders. The initial response appeared to make an impact. 63 arrests were made, more than 100 charges laid, and crime tailed off in Broome and Derby. But last week, news of the operation's expansion to Port Hedland and other Pilbara communities was quickly followed by a spate of similar crimes across Kimberley towns. In Kununurra, a couple staying at a local caravan park reported an attempted armed robbery by a juvenile wielding a stick and trying to steal their four-wheel drive. In Derby, police aborted the pursuit of a stolen four-wheel drive being driven dangerously throughout town. It would not be a stretch to say the whole town is living in fear, and it is like a battle zone, Derby resident Peter told Assistant Police Commissioner Colonel Blanch on ABC Perth last week. "Your police are doing a tremendous job, I feel for them," he said. "But it is time the other agencies stepped up, listened to community elders and local government authorities and started working in a way so we don't need hundreds of police." Local Aboriginal leaders have put forward suggestions including calls for greater involvement in the local operation of the justice system, individuals using their own experience to deter other children from risky behaviour, and making use of established programs like community sport and night patrols. Families of the children committing the crimes have called for on-country sentencing, rather than sending children to WA's controversial Banksia Hill Juvenile Detention Centre. Is too much being left up to police? After launching the response in February, Police Minister Paul Papalia said, "This isn't just a policing problem, and it can't be just a policing solution." Mr Papalia reiterated those comments in the Pilbara last week, emphasising that the situation would receive a multi-agency, whole-of-government response, rather than being left up to law enforcement. The most alarming statistic to emerge from the first 2 months of Operation Regional Shield concerns the number of at-risk children, some as young as 8 or 9, who are coming into contact with police, 578 across the Kimberley as of mid-March. Not every child picked up by police is necessarily committing a crime. Many, if not all, are forced onto the streets by disadvantage and violence at home. With a key goal of WA's juvenile justice strategy being keeping children as far from the justice system as possible, investigating and supporting these children and their families remains the responsibility of the Department of Communities. WA Police attempt to identify a responsible adult for any street present, coming into contact with police children and young people, or contact Communities Crisis Care Unit if one cannot be located, Communities Kimberley Regional Director Fiona Fischer said. To date, police have made around 40 child protection concern referrals to communities. Ms Fischer said the response was being managed within the department as existing staffing levels, alongside newly appointed staff attached to early intervention programs. Asked what after-hours response the department was providing within the Kimberley, Ms Fischer said the Crisis Care Unit provided a 24/7 response for advice, support and case management of at-risk children. The state government is working on a suite of measures to address juvenile crime in the Kimberley, with more details to be announced soon, she said. So what strategies is the government backing? Responding to Kimberley residents' queries on ABC Perth, Assistant Police Commissioner Colonel Blanch put it plainly that the current situation, the regular rotation of hundreds of young offenders between the Kimberley and Banksia Hill, needed to change. "I know a lot of the community says, lock them up for a long time, but that is not working for us," he said. "They coming back out and they recommitting even worse crimes. They more forensically aware and more violent because they learn things from other criminals." But the government has been much less clear on what those strategies are. In the week Operation Regional Shield was launched, Mr Papalia flagged a fresh government grants program to support local solutions and pitches to improve community security. Several Kimberley organisations enthusiastically put ideas forward, only to receive radio silence from the government, and an eventual denial from Regional Development Minister